Poetry and music are cousins. They're about expressing the human soul entire, distilling it into these very few words, and still allowing the reader to be able to be transformed in some emotionally powerful way. That's why I love it. I'm a huge fan of white space. I think the white space on the page, my friend Padma, who's a novelist, she says the white space is for the spiritual journey that the reader takes. The words that aren't there, the spaces between the words, the spaces between the stanzas, all of that, those are, if you're writing a novel, you'd be saying a whole lot, every word possible. In poetry, you gotta use the right words. It's gotta be a sparse, concise, meaningful text. Poetry is the ancient language of love. Everything has to do with love. Every book we write ultimately is about love. Love of, family, love of yourself, trying to find love, not loving yourself. Does the world love you? And poetry is the best way for me to be able to communicate that.
Poetry, to me, is much like music. In solo, you have space in between the stanzas, and that space gives you pause, and that kind of gives you rhythm. So the pause and the white space on a page when you're reading a story is almost just as important as the story, because in life we have rhythm. Rhythm is important. Rhythm gives us movement, and so does poetry and music.
When I'm going to a school visit, I listen to hip hop. I got to get pumped up. I got to get ready. When I'm writing, I'm listening to instrumental jazz music, Dexter Gordon, Miles Davis. When I am in the car, I'm listening to bossa nova. I'm trying to be cool and calm. On a long road trip, I'm listening to country music when I'm on the beach. I'm listening to rock and roll when I was in high school. When I want to remember, when I want to sort of, remember the things that happened in my life, I'm listening to rock and roll music because it was such a special time for me.
I don't remember a day without music in my life. I think I started listening to rock and roll music at age 3. Literally, my brother turned me on to rock music when he introduced me to Kiss. You probably haven't heard of that band. They're ancient, but they're still cool in my mind. And from there, I just learned and loved a plethora of rock music. Guns N' Roses, Metallica, U2, which just had their 30th anniversary for the Joshua Tree. It's like the playlist to my life. Depeche Mode, Never Let Me Down Again was one of my favorite songs when I was a teenager. And it just goes on and on from there. And I think music has the ability to reach inside of us and help us to understand the emotions that we sometimes can't bring words to. And it allows us to kind of process things we've gone through, experiences we've endured, and it's an important outlet.
I think music is a way for us to remember, is a way for us to feel something. Again, I think music and poetry are cousins. I think that's why Mary and I decided to write solo, because ultimately we knew that music could help the main character, and metaphorically could help us as the reader find ourselves, in a really profound way. We hear our stories, we remember our experiences, we see what's possible, we fall in love, we fall out of love, we deal with the woes and the wonders of the world through music. That's how we live and how we love.
After you read solo and you close the book, I hope that you realize you have a very important place in this world. And you may be trying to find yourself, find where you belong, but we all belong. We just have to find our talents and what we love. Who we belong to and with is so important. I think we are a big community, and your journey is your journey. So be authentic.
And we say, when you get lost, let the music find you. Let the music save you. And thank you to KidLit TV for the love. Peace.